Bread Expert's still on Lucio, Chance still on Winston. Naptime, of course, on Mercy. Mangachu is on that Pharah, yeah. Wolf is going to be playing Reaper and Bird on Soldier 76, so not necessarily a map that you think of Pharah early on, but we'll see what Mangachu can get done.
Mangachu really just likes pulling out Pharah wherever he can right now, whereas Tailspin, even though Tailspin is a great Pharah, Tailspin is more apt to switch off. Even pre-patch, where he would run Pharah more than most, he would also run McCree a lot more, so Tailspin, if nothing else, is very adaptive. We'll see if this works out, though. Pharah, of course, is very, very strong in this meta. And what's going to reign supreme? Tailspin's Tracer, Mangachu's Pharah? We're going to find out as both teams now getting into the fray. Poke is being exchanged. Who will get the first kill here on Nepal?
Kind of a dance back and forth between the Winstons so far. Winston is going to, from Internet Hawk rather, go to the right-hand side. First blood comes out. Tailspin is able to take down Wolf, but Bird responds by taking down both Harry Hook and Internet Hawk. It is 4v5 right now.
It's not only 4v5, but Chips is not going to get res up in time here. Mercy res charges quickly, but not that quickly. And so that means NG Red has a little bit of advantage, but Taimu still in the fight, does take out Chance. Tailspin now almost take out Bird single-handedly. Bird, though, going to live, but not from the stick. The pulse bomb to the back, and this opens up EnVyUs to retake this point. NG Red going to get wiped out, and in part due to a beautiful stick coming out from Tailspin.
I think where EnVyUs has improved on King of the Hill over the last 2 or 3 months is being very patient. They're not a team that's going to force deaths by trying to just stop the other team from capping the point. They understand that if the other team caps, that's fine as long as let's just win the fight. They really prioritize winning the fight as more important than having pressure or presence on the point, and that seems to fit their style much better.
Alrighty, so both teams getting into it again. Bird taking out Harry Hook immediately. Harry Hook having a bit of a rough game to start this out. 65 in favor of NG Red, though Chips used the res pretty earlier, so he's going to get back up. It's still 66, and Mangachu going to just eat the Helix Rocket, goes down, does not get the value he's looking for. Tailspin takes out Naptime in the back. There will be no resurrection coming out from the side of NG Red. And EnVyUs is playing this pretty well. They're not all on top of the point, they're spread out a little bit, and they're collapsing on NG Red when they try and take the point.
Yeah, it's been the Taimu and Tailspin show. They're absolutely just bodying up on people. They're doubling down, and they're getting kill after kill. Mangachu does take out Tailspin. There goes Chips. So now a small window here for NG Red to pull this back.
I've got you in my sights.
All right, so there they go. They have them in their sights. Says Bird, looking for a little bit, but Taimu getting it taken out there. Mangachu and Chance with the double kill as they move forward, and not too bad here coming out from NG Red. Off that attack visor and Bird, they were able to get control of the point. Got enough kills on EnVyUs to push them back.
So Wolf has been holding on to this Death Blossom for a while, and to the point where I thought he might end up switching heroes after he uses it. We'll see, but that's just really nice take back, really smart. The Graviton does come in and only grabs the Winston.
It gets 2 kills, though, in favor of Envy. Wolf right now is setting up here for the Death Blossom. Finds Shiptogen, deletes him with Q, continuing the trend of Mercies dying the Qs directed right at them. But Envy's still doing pretty good here, despite losing their Mercy. We'll see if they can turn their favor. Taimu does have the attack visor, did take out Naptime, so both teams down to Mercy as Tailspin and Taimu right now clearing up things in the back. Mangachu going to go down. And it's very back and forth, and NG Red is definitely getting some good attacks in on Envy, but Envy just coming out ahead more often than not.
An interesting change, I think, though, that Hulk is off of that Winston. It's been kind of his primary hero for a while, and he was getting some decent work with it. I'm actually kind of confused what prompted him to get off that. Maybe they feel they just want a little more damage, and that even against Mangachu in the sky, that any sort of hit scan is going to be helpful to eliminate his threat.
All right, so Tailspin takes out Mangachu, pays for it though by getting killed by Bird. 5v5 from both teams, and this favors Envy again going into this fight. And looking at Internet Hulk right now. Internet Hulk being a little bit sneaky, was behind the corner. Here comes the attack visor crown for Bird. Is he going to challenge him with the Death Blossom? No, he just Wraith forms away, says, I don't need to take that fight right now. Bird's attack visor going to go down, but not before killing Coco. Back and forth here on the point. Internet Hulk just does not want to hit Q, and Wolf is going to punish him for it.
Yeah, able to flip it back. Hulk is just, I don't know how practiced he is on Reaper. It's one of the first times I've seen him on it, which is why it's such a confusing pick. They are going back and forth, and they're kind of getting some poke in here. Coco being the solo tank, though, is going to be primary target.
This is good fighting here from NG Red. I feel like Envy still has a disposition, and the Graviton can stop the Death Blossom from getting any value. Coco says, no, you will not whirlwind into my team as Envy now. Off of that Graviton, fighting it back. Coco very charged up, melting Winston from behind. Winston leaps off the floor. It's a ragdoll effect, but man, was that hilarious. Winston decides to screw this. I'm off to another planet.
Yeah, Mangachu switched off there kind of late onto McCree, and it wasn't really in direct response to anything. I think he just wasn't getting what he wanted done on the Pharah, and it might have been a response actually to Tailspin's work on Tracer. Of course, McCree, one of the only people who was able to really stop a Tracer in her tracks, and Tailspin was getting a lot of work done. Now some even more counterplay picks coming out as Tailspin comes off of that Tracer and is now on to Pharah.
Pharah definitely pretty good here on the Sanctum phase. Not only is there a lot of room aerially to sort of get into the rafters and not get hit, but you can also knock people into the pit. But the interesting thing here is Mangachu, who's usually on the Pharah, is instead opting for the Junkrat, so a little bit of a change-ups here where we will not get the prophesized Pharah v Pharah duel, at least not in the beginning.
Yeah, Coco is now on a Soldier 76. Just some strange kind of choices overall here. As Harry Hook, they're going to have to run a Lucio. They're running 2 supports, and they still want a 76. As I mentioned, he's so good on this map. And now there's McCree, so a lot of switch-ups coming from King of the Hill. Mangachu's taking a ton of damage early on.
Tailspin just landing rocket after rocket right now. These are huge rockets. Look at all the splash that's going in right now from Tailspin, keeping the enemy team back. But EnVyUs, they still pick up 2 kills while all this is going on. It's not really entirely in Envy's favor. Tailspin, though, does have a barrage. Will he be a hero? Looking for nap time. Here comes the barrage. Takes out Bird. Does not get the mercy, though. And overall, EnVyUs able to turn this more in their favor.
Yeah, Naptime totally ducked that. The fact he had Barrage up so early just kind of and reinforces your point that he was just slamming people with splash damage. They were all grouped up. Getting a Barrage that quickly is almost impossible, but Mangachu is also going to be able to zone out too now. I think once you have control of the point, Junkrat becomes infinitely better.
Junkrat is really, really good on the stage in general. There's so many tight corridors that he can just get kills for free just by shooting in an area where he thinks people are going to be. And look at the damage going on the point right now from Mangachu. Soundbear coming out here from NG Red. NG Red looking to turn this in their favor. And here comes the tire. Fire in the hole. Will someone get run over? Yes, Chipsogen will be the target. And NG Red doing pretty good. They're going to hold on here versus EnVyUs and keep control of the point.
Yeah, now that they have control, it is always that kind of thing in King of the Hill, that once you have control, it becomes very difficult for the offense. Now, they do have a decent tool for initiation. It's been a while since I've seen a high noon on this map. It's a great map for it. Coco also has Tactical Visor, so hit scan heroes and their ultimates are going to be coming into play here shortly.
Aimu right now is on McCree. He is looking for the Deadeye in the back. Meanwhile, though, we do have the Tac Visor coming out from Bird. Bird pretty good at using it, but doesn't get much value. Winston is just going to chase him out of the point early. Harry Hook, though, dying early is now Justice coming in from Tailspin. Doesn't get as much as he's looking for. Res comes in from Chips, but does not res up Tail. I think Tail might have fallen into the pit.
All in a day's work.
Just slippery, out, flying all over the place. Taimu finally takes him out, but it costs him an ultimate to do so.
Uh-oh, X, you're breaking up. I'm going to recall you here in just a second. All sorts of internet troubles going on as Wolf takes out Coco, but important thing here to note is that EnVyUs was able to fight that back, even though it was a little bit rough for him. So 1 second here, getting Hex back on the line. Internet troubles, please trouble us no more. Hex, how are you doing?
Oh, Skype. I love Skype.
Skype in 2016, man.
Waiting for that video conferencing feature on Discord. Come on, guys, hook us up.
Please, Discord, make it happen. Anyways, taking a look here, they are going to be moving forward. Chance has the Graviton Surge at the ready. NG Red looking to retake this. Envy reclaiming a lot of lost ground, but here comes the Graviton. Gets absolutely nothing. Internet gets in at the very end, I guess, but that is not the Graviton he was looking for. Really good movement coming out from the side of Envy, but Wolf picking off Internet Hulk in the end, and this still might go in the way of NG Red's favor, despite the Graviton not being the highest value, as Wolf and Bird doing all sorts of work right now.
God. Yeah, Bread Expert been all over this point. Bread Expert and Naptime actually switch it back by themselves on the point. They're getting some healing done as well. So Naptime has been all over the place. He's been playing a phenomenal Mercy this game, really using the ledges and kind of the negative space of this map to his advantage to fly around. Brings up a res there, knowing that they had huge advantage as Chips was down. So that's a free resurrection, brings everyone back up. Now, you know, Sound Barrier initiation is going to happen very soon. And again, both of those hit scan ultimates are up for EnVyUs.
Envy has a lot of power going into this next fight as they retake it, but they need to win this fight, otherwise they're not going to have another chance. Tac Visor is out from Coco, so is the Sound Barrier. Envy throwing all their ults on the line, and yet they have yet to get a single kill in this fight as a result. A very good response here from NG Red, and now Mangachu looking to take out the 76, doesn't get quite yet. Bird and Wolf going to find their targets. Chips is out of this fight. There will be no res. Nap time is still up, and NG Red might just be in position to take this round right now, Hex.
Yeah, I mean, they get the point back, and like you said, the ultimates were great. It gave them good positioning. They got on the point, but they didn't get any kills. There was a very kind of passive play there, and now Mangachu is going to walk over the point. It's going to be kind of a Deadeye. Just kidding. Nope, he actually does Deadeye, able to take down Coco.
So Lucio Harry Hook, I think, was going this try and wall ride along the edges there to go up and buy some time for overtime, but he just didn't hit the wall. He just fell into the pit. He's with Summit now. Well, good effort coming out here from NG Red. 1-1 here in Nepal in terms of rounds, and NG Red making a case. NG Red 1 round away from taking this first game away from EnVyUs.
Yeah, it's been some really interesting switch-ups all throughout. This is probably one of the most kind of hero switching King of the Hills I've seen in quite a long time, as everyone's going back and forth. It's plays, counter plays. They know, I think, both these teams, that they're pretty matched skill-wise mechanically, so it's got to be down to mind games, picking, and just kind of meta wins.
Absolutely. Well, here comes Tail right now, not wasting any time here on the Tracer once again. And Envy just being a little bit more forward here. And if the Winston is able to get on the team while they're still in that building, it's huge because you can cleave down 4 people. Taimu, though, a little bit over aggro, gets taken out by Wolf. And NG Red now making the case, moving forward with the man advantage as Wolf now looking for the extra pickoff. Doesn't have to worry about the Envious Reaper just yet.
Yeah, Coco way too far forward there as the rest of his team tried to retreat, so he still went in for the fight. He gets taken out immediately by a magnitude rocket. It actually put his team in a bad position too, because they saw him out of position, tried to get in to help him out, and then they also took a lot of damage too, and then the Hulk is able to bring it back to taking down Chance.
NG Red taking first control at this point, and Envy looking a little bit scattered right now. Really what set up that fight is that Taimu just went a little bit over aggro. Wolf was able to punish him. Without Reaper, Envy was lacking the damage to win that fight.
Yeah, and then they didn't know they were retreating. I mean, that's why Coco died. I think half of them thought it instantly, obviously, we're going to retreat. Coco had other ideas. He got pulled out and died there early. Taimu dies early in this fight, but Tailspin takes out the other Reaper, and Wolf. Chip's dying here is huge.
All right, so Mangachu going in, does get the barrage kill to start this out, and NG Red again holding on here. They do get a few picks on the Envy to start out things, but Tailspin right now is going to fight his Tracer, but goes down to Wolf instead. Wolf with the Death Blossom, spin, 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 takes out 2, and NG Red still hanging on.
Alright, so NG Red is going to have to kind of sustain through this next fight of the Graviton. Because the Graviton's going to be coming in. There's also a res, and then a Hulk just kind of died in a weird position there. Wolf is able to take him down. Here comes the Graviton.
Usually there'd be Graviton to Pulse Bomb there, but everyone was dead from the Graviton alone. EnVyUs retaking control of the point here, and Envy's still doing pretty well. I mean, this has been very back and forth. Envy does have a 36 to 20% lead. NG Red, the points has looked pretty good, and the reason why Envy has as much as they have here is that even though NG Red was winning those fights for a while, Envy was able to retake control of the fight with how they just sort of rushed in on it, and they sort of snuck one away from NG Red. As Tailspin right now being on the creeping side, moving in for the Pulse Bomb, not able to land it. That would have been huge if he was able to pick off one person there.
Yeah, it's a great angle for a Tracer on this map as he come in over the top. So here comes, speaking of over the top, Taimu Death Blossoms in, only able to take down Bird before Magachu takes him down.
Huge back and forth here. Resurrection, though, will come out from Chips to bring people back up. Res came out from Naptime as well. Both teams using the Res, but Naptime's still up and in the fray. Might not matter, though, as NG Red getting the better of the skirmish, getting a few extra kills to start us off. And what an exchange that was. Both teams trying to take each other out with the ults, but really things working out just a little bit better for NG Red.
Yeah, Chips came in there late at the end to try to support Tailspin. Now, when I'm playing Tracer, I tell the Mercy, just ignore me. I'm going to put myself in terrible positions, but I can get out. You don't need to follow me. And right there, it's exactly what happened. Chips tried to support Tailspin and got taken out.
All right, so Wolf right now moving forward, does have Death Blossom at the ready, looking for an opportunity. Taimu, though, takes up Bread Expert to start out the fight. Wolf right now gonna drop right down. Here comes the Death Blossom. How many will he get? Gets Harry Hook. Can he get more? Will force Envy off the point at least a little bit here, as both teams very close, very much into it. Tailspin, though, going to go into the Bird. Bird attack visor, getting a bit of value. This is so back and forth right now, Hex.
Yeah, it's been down to like 2 or 3 players after every fight and just kind of who's able to scrap it out the hardest. And right now it is Envy who's going to have the remaining strength on the points. They also have some really nice tools to work with here, looking to lock it out as Graviton is up and Pulse Bomb. Potential for the Wombo.
All right, so Taimu moving in, almost gets taken out immediately, will get healed up, but Wolf with the shotgun to the back. Mangachu using Q to delete Chipsogen. A big fight here for NG Red, and even though Envy very close to getting full capture on the point, NG Red is going to turn this back in their favor. This has been one of the closest King of the Hill sets I think we've seen, Hex.
This is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's hard to even call because every fight 4 people die. There's 2 remaining usually. This is actually one of the more decisive fights coming out from NG Red. Now they're going to be in good position. They're going to take high grounds. They're spreading out everywhere. I think they know, or or they should know where the initiation is going to come from. They need to be watching this. If no one's coming through that front door, they're all coming to the right. They finally see it.
Graviton coming in, does pull in 2 people. Will it be enough here for Envy? Taimu certainly thinks so. He is the follow-up, has Death Blossom now. Where will he use it? Finds Nap Time crouching in the corner. Here comes Taimu, and no, he gets boot back. It's absolutely nothing off the Death Blossom. What a boot back coming up from Bread Expert. But Envy still taking initiative in this fight. Graviton comes out, not getting a whole lot of value. NG Red not have it yet, but definitely a bit on the back foot. As Burnout, the Tag Visor, starting to take this into his own hands, gets the triple kill. But Chip saying, wait, it's not over yet. The resurrection comes in. Envy will retake control of the point, and they will take the map. What a game.
Last time NG Red had control of the point, they were up top. They had 3 up top looking at center, and no one was looking at right. And everyone from EnVyUs came in right side. Had they been able to get a little more chip, a little more preparation there, I think that fight goes different, but they just didn't see it coming.
Well, play the game coming out from Chip's Gen. Doing a little bit of Mercy damage, gets the res, and pretty much standard Mercy play, but Mercy very, very important.
Well, that's just map 1. So we got at least 1 more of those. This has been a great series. And like we both said, I think NG Red has been playing so great that they're one of the teams that we think may have a chance, or the best chance even, to beat EnVyUs, who's been nothing short of dominant over the last month.
No, they've been doing absolutely great. There's no other way of saying it. They have been phenomenal.
So we'll see what the next map is. It is going to be NG Red's choice. They can either choose Hollywood or Lijiang Tower.
Hollywood or Lijiang. I feel like with how NG Red just did a moment ago in Nepal, why not bring it to Lijiang? And that is exactly what they're going to do. And I'm pumped for it. I mean, we just had a hugely entertaining map of Nepal, which was King of the Hill. Why not do another King of the Hill and see if NG Red this time can get a few more breaks in their favor and take a map off Envy?
Right.
Why not? Let's do this.
It's one of the few times where a Kazir gets to openly root for something just because I want to see a game 3. So I'm going to definitely want to see NG Red win this one. I also want to see these teams matched up on a more traditional, I suppose you could say, map like a hybrid payload on Hollywood. So I would love to see these teams go to Hollywood. So NG Red looking to take this map and force us into a game 3 on Hollywood. But yeah, I imagine this is going to be super back and forth. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the 3rd stage here either.
No, 3rd stage would not be out of the question, and a 3rd map is not out of the question, as NG Red is playing great. There's absolutely no shame in how they went down there in Nepal. It was close the entire way, went to the 3rd round, and the 3rd round was very, very close as well. So for NG Red, to me, this means that their stock has definitely been rising as of late. I'm not going to say that C9 isn't the number 2 team overall, because you can't just judge off one tournament. And C9 can definitely fix their issues, but if C9 has another bad week and NG Red has another good week and some of the upcoming tournaments that are coming up, I feel like NG Red might be trying to make the case right now for number 2 team in North America.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Now, C9, I again agree on that.
And
point
LG
that,
of...
well, on 1 week, I'm not going to judge C9 as far as like collapsing. They clearly have some issues, and I think they know the answers to the problems that they're having. And they also had a week where they barely practiced, which is really not indicative of how they generally go about things. So I will give Cloud9 another week or so of tournaments to see where they're actually at. But of course, this is the roughest week they've had since they formed into a team. They were the most dominant forever. LG is clearly in that conversation as well, although LG did not look very good against EnVyUs, in my opinion. They got beat 4-0 in the OG Invitational, and in my opinion, it wasn't even super close. So yeah, NG Red is making a case for being that team that could be up there. And I also, a rising Team Liquid team has done nothing but impress me every time I've watched them play.
Alrighty, so we are getting in here. Is going to be EnVyUs versus NG Red. Lijiang Tower on the menu. We'll see if NG Red can do what they weren't able to do in Nepal and take a map off of EnVyUs.
All right, so Bird is going to be on 76, which has been kind of his main thing lately. Wolf is going to run that Reaper. Be interesting to see if Hulk runs. Yeah, I think he's going to be on the Winston. I think Winston's too good on this stage to not run. But Mangachu is going to run a Pharah. You don't see a ton of Pharah on this stage, but Mangachu just really into the Pharah meta right now.
Yeah, and why not? I mean, Pharah's been really, really good as of late. There's no reason not to run the Pharah. Although I think we have seen here at times where Envy has gone Pharah v Pharah, or they've dealt against enemy Pharahs pretty well here on Lijiang. Like, I think the 76 play coming out from Envy usually does pretty well against it. But Mangachu's a pretty good Pharah. We'll have to see how it works out. But I do know when last time we saw EnVyUs versus LG, they tried to do this and they ended up switching off from the Pharah just because Tailspin was doing that well at dealing with it.
Yeah, and people are wondering why is Pharah so good right now. She didn't get any changes. Well, because there's no Widows and there's almost no McCrees, and those were usually the ones ruining Pharah's day. So that's why you see Pharah back in this meta. I think people are also getting better with her.
All right, so the fight is getting underway here. Both teams getting into it. Burden back on 76. And let's take a look here at Mangachu. Is Mangachu able to get the value he wants? Does take out Taimu, so both teams down a player to start this out. The Pharah not necessarily bad here thus far. Tailspin having the back out to start with. But the important thing here is that EnVy has been able to muscle out NG Red a little bit. NG Red is back on the bridge, and anytime you're on the bridge, bad things can happen as Tailspin picking up the double kill from the back.
Yeah, fighting on the bridge is never where you really want to go. You like to fight either on the backside or the front side of it, really just not an aggressive enough of initiation, and now they're on the back foot here. They're going to be careful not to just feed into ults and take too much damage out here. They are going to decide to just take the other route around the left-hand side. His Chance is going to be the one who goes in and kind of just pokes in, keeps them over there. Now they decide not to go around back as they lost 2 over there going back. A very kind of uncoordinated sequence coming out from NG Red.
And this is the hard part about the Garden stage here in Lijiang. Once you lose control of the first point, it can be so hard to get forward here because look at how EnVy is positioning here. They're in the back, they're spamming them from the bridge, so before they can even get in close range, they have to deal with all this poke coming out from EnVy, and EnVy has no reason to do anything else. And here comes the Graviton coming out, 3 people in, 3 people down, Taimu right in the back line, picking people off, and what a beautiful Graviton by Coco to set that up.
Yeah, they do get rezzed out of it, though, so this fight is going to continue. Now, they are finally in, making some inroads here, getting some time on the point is Brad Expert. I think they're going to let him do whatever until, you know, they clean up the rest of the fight. As I mentioned earlier, EnVyUs is fine letting their point flip over if they can just completely win a team fight. But meanwhile, while they're chasing through the house, Wolf is able to get in, too.
Yeah, it's not too bad. We just see Taimu in the back, Death Blossom being dropped, gets 2 kills, looking for a little bit more. And NG Red just feels a little bit lost right now. They looked much better on the Paul, and I think just the nature here of the Garden stage, where once EnVyUs is able to get onto the point, it can be very difficult to remove them.
Yeah, I also feel like Lijiang is their best King of the Hill for EnVyUs, and I also think that this stage in particular is probably their best stage. I just find that they're very dominant on it. They're a team that once they have an advantage, they press that advantage extremely well.
Deal Mangachu right now, Barrage on the menu, looking forward here. Does find Taimu hiding behind the corner. Checked his corners, got Taimu out of it. But Coco's gonna win the Zarya battle. Here comes Mangachu over the top. Will he drop the Barrage? He will drop the Barrage, but it doesn't work out as Tailspin treats him to a Helix rocket from the back.
Another res comes in, so the fight's gonna continue.
Tech Visor is on the way, and EnVy just blowing their ultimates, working this to their advantage as Coco again getting a double kill with the aid of Tailspin. Coco really, sometimes an unsung hero, but really melting some faces off here for EnVy.
Yeah, I think Coco, and I mentioned this mostly when he was playing Reinhardt, might be, I mean, he's kind of the most underrated player on EnVyUs and conversely in all of Overwatch. I think his Reinhardt is phenomenal. His Zarya play is absolutely great, but it seems like we never get to call his name because he's never doing anything flashy. Coco, in my opinion, is like the offensive lineman of Overwatch. You know he's great because he never makes a mistake and we never have to call him out for anything. Just rock solid play on his tanks.
You see that a lot for tank and support play, where tanks and supports are at their best, where you don't have to call them out for dying early or making any sort of mistake. It's just sort of, yeah, everything went well for them.
Yeah.
And that's what you want from a tank and support. Of course, every now and then you will get Lucio Boops and all the rest, but we are underway right now in this part of Lijiang. This is the night market. Last stage was the Garden. And here comes Tailspin again on the 76, laying in the damage from afar. Mangachu on the Pharah, and the Pharah just has not been working out as well for Mangachu in this series as we've seen it work out in the past.
Yeah, not necessarily getting the value. He's really going pretty deep in now, which is putting Naptime in a weird position. Naptime's going to try to get out here now, but they're cleaning
That's
up.
one of the problems here with Pharahs too, is that when you dive that deep in, you do want the Mercy with you, but it's not much easier to kill your Mercy, as really EnVyUs able to play around Mangachu. They're able to get the kills they want, and Tailspin just laying in shot after shot with his pulse rifle.
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing the Pharah at the competitive level, you're always having a Mercy with you, and you're responsible for 2 lives at that point. We've talked to some Pharahs before who take it extremely seriously, knowing that their positioning affects their Mercy's positioning, and in this meta, the Mercy's positioning is everything. It can win and lose you team fights, so you really have to take that into account. Their Magnitude dove really deep, ended up putting his Pharah or his Mercy rather in a bad position.
And Taimu was able to get in the back with the Death Blossom, took out 3. And Taimu's just been good at that, just finding his opportunities, going in, landing the left clicks he needs to, and getting the ults off as well. So now 30% here for EnVy, and NG Red just looking a little bit lifeless compared to what we just saw from the Paul.
Well, they do have a couple things coming up for them, though, which is about time. They're going to have both their support ultimates, Chance and Bird, very close to their ultimates as well, so almost a fully loaded team coming in for the next push. They're just going to have to hit the coordination better than they've done so far.
Mangachu right now coming in over the top looking for his opportunity. We do have the attack visor kind of Tailspin. Tailspin gonna get taken out from behind from that, but Chips will take out Mangachu. Pulls out the Mercy pistol, gets some value. Rezo is going to come out here from both sides. Everyone is back in the fight. The fight is effectively reset. Coco, though, does have a Graviton. He didn't use it in the beginning. Might use it now, looking for an opportunity. And for now, he's just being a little bit patient. Realizes he doesn't need to use it. Mercy will go down for the NG red side, and look at this. EnVyUs gonna win this, and they get to save the ultimates.
Yeah, they're going to win this. They're going to clean up any stragglers at the end here. That would be Wolf and Chance taken out. They never really got super deep into the fight. Now, they really only have one last push, so it's going to have to be an initiation with Sound Barrier, speed boost, and hope that Wolf can get a ton of kills off of it, but Coco is going to be there to try to Graviton everyone out of that.
Oh, there's a Graviton. Taimu going in. Wombo combo in the house, literally, as Taimu goes in with the support of the rest of his team for 5 kills here for Envy. And that's rough to be in that building still as you get Graviton and Death Blossomed. And they're going to call GG. They know they're not going to be able to get over there in time as it ticks up to 100%. And Envy going to take the series 2-0. They are on the day 2, Hex.
Yeah, kind of what we expected here, although NG Red looked pretty good. They look like they can hang with them at some stages, but I think Li Zhang is now, definitely EnVyUs' favorite King of the Hill and might be up there just on one of their best maps. They've been looking great on this last several times I've seen them here.
This is where Taimu is not the only threat here. Taimu got into Death Blossom, but Internet Hulk got in, just held down left click. Got a lot of value, although I do think that shows a little bit there where I feel like the Zarya should get some more play of the game credit for that situation.